to start?
I'm good.
Awesome. Tell me about your life story.
I remember my first memory that I can think about is watching my father getting cancer treatment. Like a big cannon. It looked like a big cannon. I remember the sound like. Doo, 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 doo. I was standing watching that through a mirror, like through a mirror glass, basically, with my mother. And I was kind of raised up, but with my father, kind of spiritually, like in that kind of realm. What he saw and what he experienced is that there's life after death. Certainty. He is 100% sure. And I have gotten to that realization now that I'm older, I'm 35 now, and I see kind of the same thing. So life was filled with a lot of spiritual encounters for me growing up. I was very scared of it. So I guess that influenced my life in a big way. My mother left at the same time around when my father had cancer. So I used to play a lot of like TV games or computer games. I used to be a professional Counter-Strike player. And a big part of my life then introduced to alcohol, drugs, got into that lane. And it kind of escalated from there when I was 17, 18 years old. I was a full-fledged criminal and drug dealer, selling drugs, moving volumes, honestly, like making a lot of money, getting around in the wrong crowd, gangs, motorcycle clubs, thinking that's family, thinking that's brotherhood. And with hanging around these crowds has ended me with almost getting killed more than once. And all these situations led to something greater, though. It's a realization I had recently also as I'm developing my own program of coaching called The Way of the Father. I've realized that exactly everything that ever happened to me has worked out in my advantage. Exactly everything worked out in my advantage.
I completely understand what you're saying, and you said that a lot of these experiences, even though they weren't easy at the time, worked out now to your advantage.
Yeah.
Would you also say they were meant to be in a way?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I've been down this route a lot really lately. And I realized the universe only say yes. So when you say, oh, I have so much back pain, yes you do. I want to be rich, yes you do. I wish I had, yes you do. And instead you have to change that mindset into something else. I am attracting this, yes you do. I am this, yes you are.
Or
yes, I have. Yeah, exactly. So you're trying to change that mindset. And I guess that I have projected all these stuff on all these incidents on myself. It's the reality of the situation. Everything is my own fault. So yeah, I believe exactly everything that happened up until this moment has been destined by God or universe.
And what about your reaction to everything that's happened? Would you say that you had any control over the way you reacted to things? Or do you have any regrets with the way you dealt with things, for example?
Yeah, tons of. Well, it used to be regrets. Now there are old philosophies of mine. I have experience that kind of put me, the thing that ended me up with me ended up in Spain. The robbery. I had a home invasion last year
in Sweden.
In 21st in Sweden,
just for context.
Yeah, in Sweden. And two guys came to my wife was at work, was me and a friend at home cooking lunch. They presented themselves as construction workers, put a gun in my chest in the hallway of my house, led me into the kitchen where my friend was cooking lunch, put us on the floor, hit us with the gun, in the face, and then just put the gun in my face and asked me if I wanted, like looking down the barrel, you want to live or do you want to die? And that moment I left my body, like, staring at this like situation from a meter or two from the side. Very weird. And then it became a it became a fight inside the house with me, my friend, and these two robbers, and it ended with one of them dying outside my door, bleeding to death, and the other one got himself to a hospital, leaving his friend there to die. and just ran out and get in the car and got arrested a little bit later.
Mm.
So there were some defining moments, definitely, and yeah, I mean, you got to take all these things that happens in life. You got to make something productive out of it. You have to say it's meant to be. You have to say this was bigger for a bigger thing, for a bigger reason.
I would love to talk a little bit about when we met at the gym,
Mm-hmm.
because now we're in Spain. You moved from Sweden to Spain.
Yeah.
Talk to us about the free gym, the captain hat,
Yeah.
the mojo, everything. It's so fascinating.
So this started with I came to Spain there after the robbery when I was left. They let me go from the prison, and at that point, you know, I was struggling with my back. I had a back surgery that I did just before the robbery. It just healed up. It healed up wrong because there was a problem with the surgery. I broke my back just before that, so I had 2 years in bed basically. And I came to Spain. I started my 90-day challenge for myself, just working out every day to fix my back. You know, get moving and not being useless anymore. And I started training for 90 days, and I started having people join me, and then it grew from there. And the hat, it's
Yeah.
I think the Spanish, I think it was the Colombia people. They were calling me El Capitan, and I think that somebody gave me the hat. I needed something that was. I don't know. It was just a fun thing. I think it started like that, and I always been doing an analogy of how I look at life. Like we're out on this pirate ship. The bigger the ship, the bigger the crew. And it doesn't matter if it's my shovel or your shovel or her shovel that hits the lid of the treasure when we're out digging. We share equally once we get on the boat. So that's my philosophy of life, and it's been that way for a while. That's why I try to explain like how I do and what I do is that analogy. So the captain just came out of that in the organic way, I guess. I don't think that you need to be on a boat to be a captain, you know.
No, but it definitely works, and I think it suits you really well. Like I can't see you any other way now.
No, yeah. It feels good, you know. I love responsibility. I think it's a man's duty to take on as much responsibility as he can and lead and make things better. You know, like I said, my rules, I have a couple of rules that I teach, way of the father. One of them is leave everything better than you found it. And that goes for, you know, picking up trash, whatever, like we talked about. You know, if you find some bullshit like this, you should take it away with you when you walk away from there. Leave everything better than you found it.
Amazing. Just one last question, and I think that's very sound advice, right? Leave the world or every place better than you found it. Is there any other piece of advice you would have specifically for the younger generation and teenagers?
Yeah.
Who, honestly, from what I've seen, seem very, very lost or hit for some reason.
Realize that you don't know best. Realize that you need a mentor. Realize that you need a training partner. Just imagine yourself playing ping pong or tennis by yourself. Maybe you can become the world's best server. You will never have somebody hitting the ball back, and you never know how to parry, you know, another left or right or a backhand, or the ball is up or low. All you know is how to serve. And that's a big issue with people. This comes to people who like to talk too much, right? They interrupt people all the time, and then people stop fucking talking to them because they're meeting that kind of. You're meeting somebody with a shield and a sword all the time. I just call, hey bro, how you doing? What do you want? I'm just here to talk, bro. Yeah, but what do you want? What do you want to talk about? What do you want to talk? And when you have that mentality all the time, like put down your sword and shield, right? It's just if somebody comes at you physically, that's one thing to defend yourself. But up here, when I come to you, like, hey, I think that you should stop with the defense, right? Just hear people out.
Sound advice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Love the interview. Thank you, bro.
Cheers.